Instagram. Facebook is coming online now. Hope everyone's doing all right out there. All right, we are now live with Instagram and Facebook. Welcome to Joel's College of Swing Era Knowledge. All right, everybody. Good evening. Hope everyone is well out there. Welcome to Friday. Shag is our topic of choice on Fridays for Joel's College of Swing Era Knowledge. And tonight we'll conclude our foundation series on a fun dance called St Louis Shag. So Monday night's jazz, Tuesday Charleston, Wednesday Lindy Hop and Jitterbug, Thursday evening swing here in Spokane, Washington. Friday is Shag night. Saturday is Balboa and Bell Swing, and Sunday is a chat for teachers and organizers. I hope you've been enjoying this series during this crazy time of ours. And like I was saying earlier, tonight concludes our three-part series on St. Louis Shag basics. You can look online and find all kinds of cool stuff out there. Chances are with the older black and white grainy clips, it'll be Kenny Wetzel. And then current day St. Louis Shag dancers, Christian and Jenny. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. I'm really glad to see a resurgence in the Shag world come around. Valerie and I learned this probably back in 2000. When I say this, St. Louis Shag, it's one of those dances that for me, it's one of those someone's got to remind me that I know it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, let's have fun with it on the social floor. It's not my go-to all the time, but it's really been nice to share this information with you all these last few weeks in these little half-hour sessions. So just to recap, we covered, I think it was 7 different rhythms or footwork variations that we can do as far as St. Louis Shag goes. And then we did the foundation moves called the Pushaway and the Kickaway. Now, those are like really signature moves for St. Louis Shag. It looks like a bad side-by-side Charleston if you're looking for that kind of thing, but it's so cool to play with the rhythms and the shapes of the dance. So again, look from 2 weeks ago for that series or that session. And then last week, we worked on the foundation figures called Fall on the Log and Turns with the rhythms of, mostly we worked the triple step kick rhythm, which is what we're going to do tonight. Tonight, we're going to conclude at least the foundation moves. Again, there's tons of other variations out there. People are getting really creative with the rhythms and the shapes and all that stuff. But for me, this would be like your solid core foundation for St. Louis Shag. And tonight, we're going to cover what's called sliding doors and the St. Louis Shag Swing Out, which you can add into your repertoire. So let's get up off the couch or the office chair, and let me get my microphone going here so I can just whisper back here. And you see some streamers. We got a little party later tonight. It's Autumn's 5th birthday, believe it or not. So we're going to have fun later on tonight. Let me turn this light on if that makes it. Whoop, not that one. Okay. So let me get a little bit more light in here. And here's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to basically work that rhythm of triple step kick, triple step kick. That was one of our footwork variations. Let me turn around. For the leaders, you're going to move forward on the 1 and 2 on the left foot. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. Remember, you can do a kick up or a double kick. So again, for leaders, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. If you're following, you start that on your right foot. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. Okay, I just really want to quickly recap at least what I learned as the basic St. Louis Shag rhythm, which was kick, step, stomp, rock, step. And watch that from the side. For a leader, going back on the left foot, kick, step, stomp, rock, step. And it has a different feel, but what's neat is you have that forward movement on the 1, 2. We're choosing a triple tonight, 1 and 2. Then you have your 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That signature stomp of a classic St. Louis shag, and then rock step on the 7, 8. So again, we covered these footwork variations 2 weeks ago. I just want to show you that just for some context if you've been paying attention the last few weeks. Let's make sure there's no questions out there already. Okay, got a good crowd on Facebook, and here we go. All right, so now what's going to happen is we're going to use this footwork to our advantage in creating what's called a sliding door. So you can imagine what a sliding door looks like. And so remember, my partner is side by side with me. Now, again, if you're dancing at home solo, if you're quarantining or social distancing at solo, either dance the leader's part or the follower's part. So I'm going to take the side by side position, again, using our triple step rhythm, going 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Now, the follower's hand, Jackie will come down in a second, but the frame is going to be right here. I'm just going to reach over my shoulder, just kind of swoop up her arm and just bring it out in front of me. All right, so as I'm doing the basic shaka-do, boom, shaka-da, boom, shaka-da, boom. And so my hand will be on her hip and my left hand will be in her left hand. Now, just to get the shape of this without the footwork, so you can visualize Jackie's next to me or your follower's next to you, hand on hip, and then you have your hand and their left hand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left arm and I'm going to kind of give it a little J drop so that the follower breaks frame. What I mean by that, poof, I'm following now. So if the follower is here and I have a connection, if I bring the arm straight through, she might think, or the follower might think it's a kickaway or moving away this way. So I'm going to bring this arm down, in essence, what I call that breaking the frame. Nothing's getting broken, but I break the frame for a second so that the follower can go down here. And we're going to show you some different variations on this, but for now, I'm going to think about bringing this hand down and here. So now if I'm following and I feel that, I'm going to lead a little bit on that right hip, and I'm going to push across, and this arm is going to come down. And then I'm going to go the other way. So you can picture the door is sliding back and forth. Now, as a leader, I'm going to be here, I'm going to lead, move across, boom, lead, move across, boom. And so my arms are constantly leading that down. Let me turn around for the leader standpoint so you can see what my arms are doing. So I do a basic 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. I'm going to get that hand. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to push and lead my partner across, sliding door, shoop, push, sliding door, boom, push, sliding door. If the hand is on the hip. If the hand is behind the back, and again, we'll show you these variations, I'm going to pull the frame hand that I'm connected with. I'm not going to yank the hand behind the back. And we've got Jackie here, so you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. So watch really quickly. We're here in side-by-side position, and here's our basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. So the follower's frame is usually right along here. So followers, sometimes I feel them drop this way down, and that's pretty bad because I can't really get to it there. So just let your fingertips drape over the shoulder, not grabbing, not gripping, not pulling down, but I can just reach over and get that hand, and then she knows, the follower knows I want this up in front. Okay, so now I'm going to keep Jackie where she is. Now I'm going to move back and forth, sliding door. I'm going to drop this hand down, and we're going to get to this position. So if the hand is behind the back, I am not going to pull on that hand. I'm going to pull on the frame hand. So again, she's going to stay put. I'm going to move sliding door. And now my right hand is going to drop down, and we get to this position. Now again, I would pull, and now Jackie would move, but I'm going to do this purposely so you can see the hand connection. Now if it's at the hip, if I'm at the hip, I can push Jackie's hip and then come over to the hip. push Jackie's hip, come over to the hip. But if we're both using that footwork, then we do that sliding door. So watch them time. I'm going to do a basic. I'm going to get the hand. And then we're going to do our sliding door back and forth. The first few I'm going to do from the hip. So I'm going to go hand to hip, and then I'm going to go hand behind the back. So we do our basic. I do a triple step kick, triple step kick. I get the hand, no stress. Now, after that inside kick, now you can see I'm playing with the hip. So I'm pushing Jackie's hip. Now, if I bring the hand behind the back, now I'm pulling the arm. And we both work together on this back and forth. So I can't stress enough, leaders. Look at Jackie's arm. If her arm is behind her back, right, do not pull on that arm. Pull on what I'm going to call the frame arm. And that will pull Jackie across. If I pull, she comes with me, right, across. If you have the hand on the hip, which is a good connection, now I'm going to push the hip and maybe even use the frame hand too. I'm going to use both. I'm going to give a little push and she's going to go to this side. Now again, if the hand's on the hip, I'm going to push it, but if the hand's behind the back, I'm not going to pull the hand. So I really want to go over that to make sure it's comfortable for the followers as you guys are going back and forth doing your sliding door. So just making sure there's no questions out there. Okay, so watch that from the front. So here we are. I'm going to do a basic. And again, followers, Jackie's fingertips are just draped right there. Makes it really easy for me to just swoop it and bring it up and over. Right? So it's really clear if a leader is reaching for that hand to bring it out. So we do a basic, triple step kick, triple step kick. I get the hand. Now, when that inside foot kicks, I lead. Now I'm going hip and hand. Now, I'm going to change it to behind the back. Now I'm pulling the frame hand. This is a sliding door. Boom. Now, I just did the ending, which is the opposite of the beginning. I'm going to take this hand. Don't stress. You'll feel the right time when she's on the right side of you. Take it up and over the head. Avoid hitting the hat. And you're right back into your basic St. Louis shag side by side. So again, hopefully from that angle, you might have not seen as good as far as the hands go. But again, I want to reinforce hip and hand, great lead. Hand behind the back, you get a little more distance. The sliding doors are going to slide further away, but be mindful of what you're using on the lead. Yeah? Okay, so now, no questions out there. We're doing good. Okay, so now some variations on this sliding door. So we've already talked about hand and hip, right? So if I can have your hand here, right? So now hip and hand. Now what you can do, again, the doors aren't going to slide that far, but you can come into what we call sweetheart position and do sliding doors here. You can, I don't really prefer it because of this arm here. It creates a real funky T-Rex arm. I'm going to turn this way if I'm here. Unless I reach way across and then Jackie can keep frame, but that makes it awkward. So it's usually the followers end up having this really short, like up T-Rex arm if you go back and forth in what we call a sweetheart position. So it can be done physically. Let's dance it one time. You'll see Jackie have to crunch her frame as I move her back and forth. So I just want to show that so it's a valid movement, but what that does to her frame. So we do a basic.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I reach for the hand.
7, 8.
Don't stress on the timing.
4, 6,
Now
7, 8.
on the inside feet.
4, 5, 6,
Now
7, 8.
we're going back and
4,
forth.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Can't get as far
3,
because of
4,
this
5,
connection.
6, 7, 8.
And Jackie's here in this position, right? So again, we can't do the sliding doors with that connection, but I think it compromises the follower's frame.
Yeah.
Hip and hand is usually a good way to go. Now, if you really want to get some extension on the sliding doors, and this depends on how fast you can move, how fast the song is. But now, if you think about the sliding door, if I take this across and I go across, what if I get all the way to hand-to-hand connection, my left hand to Jackie's right hand, right? And then we use that frame to come across, work together and come across. So now you've got your maximum sliding door using the rhythm. Okay, so watch that one. So we do a basic.
One,
Triple
two,
step,
three,
kick,
four,
triple
five,
step,
six,
kick.
seven,
Don't
eight.
stress, get the hand.
1, 2, 3, 4,
When you
6,
kick that
7,
inside
1,
foot,
2, 3, 4,
move
5,
across.
6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then again, I might pop a two, boom, pop a two, boom. I'm just
2, 3.
getting at the end there. I just got Jackie's hip instead of her hand because I'm obviously not going to get back to closed position from here. I mean, I guess you can do it on the next one, just do a little slide. Again, you can get really creative on this stuff, but that would be your maximum sliding door going hand to hand. Okay, any questions out there? That's our basic rhythm, our basic sliding door hand positions. Okay, so now, let's see, before I get to the big open position things from what we just showed, I want to back up slightly and talk about the hand behind the back or even the sweetheart position and a variation on sliding doors I like to call revolving doors. So the doors can slide back and forth, but they can also revolve. So this is like, if it's really wicked fast and it's really difficult to go side to side and pass each other, you can take this same idea and just revolve with it. So watch this from the back. So do a basic, 5, 6, here we go. Basic,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
set up
6,
your
7, 8.
sliding door,
3, 4,
but instead of sliding back and forth,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm gonna
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
just turn it here,
4, 5, 6, 7.
and then when you're ready,
3,
bring it back
6,
up
7,
and
8.
over. Now again, you can do that hip and hand. Oh, sorry, hip and hand, hip and hand. You could, again, it's not my preference, go sweetheart to sweetheart. Actually, that one wouldn't be too bad because you're not pulling side to side. But again, Jackie has that compromised frame, sweetheart to sweetheart. And you could even go from this position and open up here. And now guess what that move is? All right, so if you're in closed position, it's more of a revolving door versus sliding door, but this is our kickaway, right? And so if we actually open up and we're kick, kick, triple step, this is our kickaway that we covered in week 1. If you move that in closer, now you have now you have a little revolving door versus sliding door, or maybe you do a little combo. So you can play with revolving doors and sliding doors with those different connection points, right? So there's a variation on the variation. Take your sliding door idea and change it into a revolving door. If you stay close to your partner, that has a really cool look and feel. And if you separate slightly, then you're into basically that kickaway pattern that we were doing in week 1. Okay, I'm going to close this a little bit because we're getting big glare. Okay, so now, there, that's better, a little bit. Okay, so now let's get back to the sliding door with the maximum arm length, if you will. Okay, so we're going to do a basic triple set kick, triple set kick. I'm going to get the hands.
2, 3, 5, 6,
Now on the inside foot,
3,
move
5,
it,
6, 7, 8.
move it. Now right here, if I'm here,
3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
and when you're in this position, left hand to right hand, now this is the 7, 8. Again, this is very similar to a kickaway position. I'm going to be very clear to Jackie to lead her across to come back if we're doing sliding doors. But at this position, if we do that kick and I turn my body, guess what? We go back into the basic. Yeah? So watch this again. And if you want, do this with us. 5, 6, basic is a triple set kick. I get the hand, no stress. On the inside foot, move across. Again, we're going to go maximum. Now watch right here. Turn it. And I'm right back to the basic.
right? So instead of doing the hand lift over the head, I take this position, turn, triple step, kick, and you're back into your basic pattern. Yeah? Okay, so that's one nice variation that you can get into from your sliding doors, turning it from the maximum sliding door to get back into the basic. Okay, and then we have what's called the St. Louis Shag Swing Out. And so once again, we're already dancing to this position. If we're doing the sliding doors, we have 7, 8, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now here's the trick. I'm going to be here. I'm open, maximum position from my partner. But instead of giving Jackie this pull across to do a sliding door, think about giving a look and a connection where I'm going to turn a little bit more toward Jackie. That'll turn her body. Now it already feels and looks different from the sliding door. Now the 7, 8 is where we're stretching out. 7, 8, triple step is where we're going to come in. Triple step. We're going to use that double kick to start turning away. Double kick and triple step, back out to open position. So watch that without stopping. We have a double kick, triple step, double kick, triple step. Ha, a shaka, ha, a shaka, kick up, kick up, yeah, and then you just hang on, get right back into your St. Louis Shag rhythm. Just remember to move forward on that triple. And there you have your St. Louis Shag Swing Out. Yeah, it's really cool. So,
That's a good energy.
yeah, that one's a nice one. So I'm trying to think, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm just thinking like off the cuff here for a second, thinking of the original rhythm that we did, because I don't want you to think that's the only way to get into the swing out, right? Remember week 1, we did a pushaway. And so if I'm gonna, let's do really basic St. Louis Shag rhythm, which is kick, step, stomp, back step. Now I'm going to do a basic kick, step, stomp, back. Now I'm going to do a push away, kick, step, stomp, back step. Now watch, remember what we did in week 1 is we turned it back to the basic kick, step. Well, what if from this position, again, if you're really well versed in your St. Louis Shag, and you give that follower that lead in, then we can change that kick step to a triple step. A triple step kick, a triple step kick. And now, kick, a triple step, rock step, triple step, boom, a shoot, wow. Like again, we showed the 7 different footwork patterns. You can mix and match. So I just want to show you some other ways to get into the St. Louis Shag Swing Out. So I utilized the push away, right? We also did the kick away week 1. So we're doing our basic, and we talked about a kick away. So here we are on a kick away, right? So we're moving this way, but remember, instead of giving that lead here, maybe from a kick away, we give a lead across. Now we're into a sliding door, and from here, we oh, there's like, once you understand the shapes and the rhythms, it's just really fun to go back and forth. So right there,
I just wanted to give you some different options to go into what we call the St. Louis Shag Swing Out. From the push away, from the sliding door, from the kick away to the sliding door into a St. Louis Shag Swing Out. Okay, any questions out there? It's looking pretty good. And again, I'm using the connection points that I have with Jackie, whether it's hip and hand or hand only or shoulders and hands. I'm using all these connection points to create those different shapes using the St. Louis Shag rhythms. And again, the one that's most common when you start doing sliding doors and things like that is the triple step, kick up, triple step, kick up, or triple step, kick, kick, triple step, kick, kick. All right, so that is the classic move in St. Louis Shag called a sliding door. We worked on a revolving door, and we worked on the St. Louis Shag Swing Out. Let's dance that together really quick
so that we can get up and move in groups. So let's all do one basic, and then we're going to do the basic sliding door. And again, you have options. You can do hip and hand. You can do sweetheart arms. You can do hand behind the back, or you can do a big reach across for a sliding door. So right now we're just focused on doing one basic, getting the hand, no stress, and then after the kick inside, leaders right, foot followers left, we're gonna move into a sliding door. Okay, 5, 6. Here we go, basic, triple step kick, triple step kick. Get the hand, no stress. Now this time, inside foot, move it, sliding door, sliding door. Now whenever you're ready, when the follower is on the right side, lift the hand up and over, and go back to the basic. Very good. Okay, now whichever one you used when the follower got back to the right side. Now, I should have said we were going to do hip and hand or sweethearts, because if we go full out, this is a hard position to get back into there. So my apologies on that. But now on purpose, we are going to do the full sliding door. And what I want to do, I'll call it out. You'll hear me when I say, let's turn away. So we're going to be here, and then we're going to turn away, or I should say turn in toward each other to end with that basic there. All right, so we're going to do a couple sliding doors, then we're going to turn into each other for the ending. Let's start with the basic. 5, 6, basic St. Louis Shag, triple step kick, triple step kick, get the hand, no stress. On the inside foot, go to the maximum position. Let's do one more of those. Now on this one, here we go. Turn it back into the basic. And that one just feels really nice to go from here, triple step, and the frame is right there to go back. Yeah? Okay, so that was maximum sliding doors with a turn back into the basic. Okay, so now let's do a basic, get into our sliding door maximum, and then we'll do a couple of basic sliding doors. I'll say face your partner, swing out. So we're gonna go from basic to sliding door to swing out. 5, 6, here we go, basic, basic.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Get the hand, no stress. Here we go, get ready, maximum.
6, 7, 8.
Boom.
1, 2, 3.
Now, one more. Now look at your partner, and triple step kick, bump kick, triple step. Now let's turn back in, and bump do, boom, bump down. Yes, very good. Now we're putting things together. Now let's go back to hip and hand. Let's say we're dancing, and we do our basic, and we get into sliding doors, and we're like, man, this music's really fast. So we're gonna do one sliding door, and we're gonna be like, I'm gonna do a revolving door instead. 5, 6, here we go, basic, triple step kick. We get the hand.
1, 2, 3.
Now,
5, 6,
on the inside foot.
2, 3.
Now we're like, oh man, this is way too fast. So we just,
5, 6, 7.
boom, shot the do, boom, shot the do, boom. Now we're just turning here. 5, 6, 7. Boom. Yeah? So we're just doing a revolving door, turning back and forth instead of going side to side. Okay, so now the last thing we wanted to cover tonight is, we're doing perfect on timing. It's kind of a combo of the movements that we did last week, which was the turns. So remember, the turn that we did a triple step kick, triple step prep. So on that 7, instead of just staying here and doing some footwork, double kick, kick up, I'm gonna prep Jackie in and turn her 8, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. So again, watch the turn, the basic turn, last week's lesson, 7, 8, 1 and 2, 3, 5, and 6, 7. This is a really nice entrance. If I don't shoot the gap and get back into closed, we could have triple step kick, triple step prep, triple step, boom. Now you've got that hand that we got over the shoulder last time. Jackie's momentum is really curved at this point, so I got to do a really good job to take this curve and change it to linear. And now we're in the sliding door, and we can turn it back into the basic. Ooh, okay.
Always make sure with a move like that, Again, that you're keeping your frame, elbows bent and in front of you. Even when I'm turning like this, like this, my elbow is still in front of my body. Make sure you don't over rotate.
Yeah.
Okay, because now my elbow is behind me. Okay, so even though I'm going to that maximum stretch, using that momentum, I still have my elbow in front of my body.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, now I'm going to change this circle into a line to get us into a sliding door. So watch that from the front. I'm going to do a basic.
1 and 2, 3, 4, 5,
Now on the
6,
next 7, I'm
8.
going to prep a turn.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now,
1, 2,
shoot,
3,
pull.
5, 6, 7.
And now we're
1,
here,
2,
sliding door.
5,
Turn
6,
it.
7, and 1, 2.
Now watch from the back.
5, 6, 7.
I'm going to do the turn.
3, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3.
Turn it out.
5, 6, 7,
Boom and
1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7,
It's so cool. It's very, very fun. So there is an example of just using one of the foundation moves we worked on last week, putting it together with the concept we have tonight with the sliding door. And now, that was bad. And now you have
What I would consider all of your foundation St. Louis Shag. If you look back on the previous 3 weeks, first week, to me, like the foundation moves of St. Louis Shag is that Pushaway and that Kickaway. That Pushaway is really unique, really cool to St. Louis Shag. We showed you seven different footwork, Instagram, 7 different footwork variations or rhythms that you can utilize. And then we worked on, yes, the Pushaway, the Kickaway, and the rhythms. Session 2, we worked on turning and a movement called fall on the log. And tonight, we hope you enjoyed the sliding door, the revolving door, and the St. Louis Shag Swing Out. Have fun with all of this material, mix and match, throw it into your Lindy Hop when you remember that you know St. Louis Shag. If this has brought you any joy this evening, please donate. The links are above in the Facebook, or contact us to have us send you guys the links for our Venmo or our PayPal. And these do go up on my Retro Rhythm YouTube account as well. And I really hope that these last 3 weeks brought some joy to all of you and something really unique and different for your shag dancing. So once again, thank you very much, everyone. Monday night jazz, Tuesday Charleston, Wednesday Lindy Hop and Jitterbug, Thursday evening swing here in Spokane, Friday shag, Saturday bell bow and bell swing, and Sunday a chat for teachers and organizers. As always, we hope you enjoyed. Please donate, and night night. We're crazy about you.